Alright, welcome back to another Vintage League here. Today we're playing Black-White Initiative, and the reason we're doing this is we're trying to make Clarion Conqueror a little bit less problematic in Initiative. Now, your traditional mono-white Initiative deck plays a ton of artifact mana, right? And this shuts off all of those artifacts after it comes into play. So we've got Mox Jet. We got the minimal number of artifacts here. We've got Pearl, Jet, Crypt, Lotus, but we've got no Chrome Moxes. That's the big one. Chrome Mox, pitch a card to Chrome Mox to play Clarion Conqueror and then shut off the Chrome Mox. It's just a pretty rough play pattern. We're trying to avoid that. Then regular mono white initiative also plays some additional artifact mana even on top of that. That all get shut off by Clarion Conqueror. We got 3 of these here, just different artworks. These are all Clarion Conqueror. So what we're doing here is we're trying to play Clarion Conqueror, but without all the artifact mana. And that really brings you to a couple of options, right? We tried Mana Drain before, and that was interesting, but I think Dark Ritual, if you want to be in an initiative deck, that doesn't really work for initiative, but if you want to be in an initiative deck, I think the options are black for Dark Ritual, green for Elvish Spirit Guide, and red for Simian Spirit Guide. You play those as your main color in your initiative deck, and then you splash white for Clarion Conqueror and maybe a couple other white cards, right? So here we're going with black, but you could also play red as kind of like a red stompy deck that splashes for Clarion Conqueror. You could also play a green one, which I think could be interesting because you could play Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, Elvish Spirit Guide, Collector Oof, Clarion Conqueror. And then either you go hard into green and play like a Natural Order package to go over the top. I think that could be interesting. Or, different things you can do there. You also have Carpet of Flowers you can bring in from the sideboard. Carpet of Flowers works just fine through Clarion Conqueror. You could bring those in against some of the blue decks and have some mana acceleration and whatnot. That kind of works under Clarion, which I think could be pretty cool. So like an Elvish Spirit Guide Oof version, might have some legs to it. Probably with like Natural Order or something. But anyway, today we're going with black. And I played Black Initiative before on this channel once before, and actually went pretty well. It was a 4-1 league if you want to go check that out, just called, I don't know, Black Initiative or something from a month ago or so. We're changing a couple things here. I think the biggest thing is there's no Barrogoyf in this list. Now, there's a lot of token makers in the meta. I think Barrogoyf's not at its best right now. Like, Glaring Fleshraker making tokens is bad. People are trying cards like Quarry Steelcutter, which make tokens. It just doesn't feel like... It's still a good card, and you can play it, but it feels like something that's just not amazing right now. So we're going to try in its place some of these white cards here. That's kind of the biggest difference between that deck and this one. We're cutting the engine of Barrogoyf and the threat there with some of the prison and removal pieces here in white. So we've still got Ravenloft Adventurer as our main initiative creature here. For this one you can play off of, Dark Ritual, Ancient Tomb, or Fast Mana. It takes the initiative just like the white ones do. This one, if creatures die, they get exiled, which is quite nice against Lurrus decks. They'll get to get playing stuff over and over. And then, quite easy to cast off a Dark Ritual. We still have Trolls to find our mana, and then Grief as our piece of protection. And then, of course, that all combos with the Reanimate, so we can bring back our Griefs and our Trolls from the graveyard after putting them there early, ideally turn 1. We've also got some other black staples in here. Dauthi Voidwalker, Demonic Tutor, Caustic Bronco as a nice card advantage engine, and we can turn on pretty easily. Clarion Conqueror has 3 power, Grief has 3 power, Ravenloft Adventurer has 3 power, Dauthi Voidwalker has 3 power. So viewing this saddle 3 here isn't too difficult. And the saddle means instead of you taking damage for the card that Bronco flips off the top, instead your opponent takes that damage, and our curve's pretty high, so that actually can, be pretty relevant here. And now a pretty big, but we had Null Rods in the black version, I believe, of the deck. It might have been more Void Mirrors, but I think we had Null Rods. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. Maybe it was just Void Mirrors and Null Rods in the sideboard. But a pretty big departure from Mono Wood Initiative here is we're running the Null Rods in the main here. So we got 4 Null Rods and 3 Clarion Conquerors. So we're very, very heavily pointed against the combo artifact decks here, and even Mono Wood Initiative itself. Very pointed, and we're running a little combo here. So these two obviously turn off artifacts, and that combos with this card from Fallout, Overencumbered. It gives your opponent 3 different types of tokens, but it says at the beginning of combat on a enchanted player's turn, they have to pay 1 for each artifact they control. If they don't, they can't attack this combat. So this is very strong against Bizarre decks. They can't attack you, usually at all when this is in play, even without Null Rod, because they usually just can't pay for to get rid of the artifacts. And you get a clue of food. Your opponent gets a clue of food and a junk, but if you're Dredge and you don't have any mana, you can't actually pay for any of those, so that's a problem for them. And then it's pretty good against like the Sphere Shops, Raker Shops type decks. They have a lot of artifacts and a hard time paying for this. And then if you have like Null Rod or Clarion Conqueror out, you can't get rid of your artifacts. You can't crack them. You probably have some Mox and stuff in play. It makes it very difficult for the Shops decks to attack. Same thing with Mono White Initiative. They have a bunch of artifacts out. You've got a Null Rod or Clarion Conqueror, or even they have a Clarion Conqueror in play. You play the Overencumbered, and all of a sudden they can't attack, which is pretty sweet. We're giving that a whirl here. We've got 2 main deck and 1 in the sideboard. We've got 1 Phelia. So this one, I was thinking about this early with Clarion Conqueror, and we're going to give it a whirl here, just as a one-of. So there's a couple things in this deck. So when Phelia attacks, you exile up to 1 other target permanent, which can be one of yours. You bring it back to the next end step. So let's say you've got a Mox in play that you really want to use, but you've got a Clarion Conqueror in play. You can swing with Phelia, exile the Clarion Conqueror, second main phase, use the mana, and then Clarion Conqueror comes back before your opponent gets to use the mana on their turn, which is pretty cool. Also, the Phelia can remove and bring back Ravenloft Adventurer, so you get the ETB. Same thing with Grief. You can remove and bring back Grief to get the ETB. So I think this one's pretty cool. You can also just remove your opponent's stuff, obviously. So we're going to try 1 Phelia in here, which I think is pretty good. Or, potentially pretty good. Covered all this stuff. Covered this. We got our draw engine, prison pieces. We have 1 Void Mirror and 1 Vexing Bauble. I think maybe 2 Void Mirrors would be okay in here, but we're trying to go pretty hard on the Null Rod Clarion Conqueror side of things, so I did trim 1 of the Void Mirrors. I think if the Overencumbered maybe are a little cute. Like, I do like this combo. I think it's going to be fun to try out, but if it doesn't end up working out well, I think you could cut these 2, play 1 more Void Mirror, and then something else, right? The Reanimate is to go with the Grief, Vexing Bauble, Dark Ritual, 2 Swords, just a minimal number of artifacts. We're running 4 Null Rods, 3 Clarion Conquerors. We don't want a lot of artifacts in our deck, but these are still excellent. We still want these. The on-color Mox and the Crypt and the Lotus. These are still very, very good. I think there's even a case for a Lotus Petal. Like, I don't think putting a Lotus Petal in here is crazy to try and get, like, turn 1 Conquerors and, scarier turn 1 starts. Ancient Tomb to get, Null Rods, Void Mirrors out early, and to ramp into, like, turn 2 Clarion Conquerors, turn 2 or 3 Griefs and Ravenlofts. Pretty standard black-white mana base. We got some basics in here because we got initiative cards. And a couple Urborgs to turn the Plains and the Tombs into black for, like Dauthi Voidwalker, the double black for Grief. And that's the main deck. So not too far off from the black initiative deck we played like a month ago. But, definitely some, but definitely different in some areas, like the Clarion Conqueror and Null Rod going very heavy against artifacts in the main, trying out the Overencumbered combo here, trying out Phelia and a little bit of sword stuff. The sideboard, white gives us some nice things, so Containment Priest against Oath is very good. Third Overencumbered against, the Bizarre decks and some of the Shops decks especially, maybe Mono White Initiative 2. I haven't fully theory crafted that one yet. Prismatic Ending just for like Oath and random stuff we gotta get rid of. Misstep for, like Dark Ritual decks, some of the other combo decks maybe. Graveyard Bizarre, obviously. And then Lurrus is making a heck of a comeback. Lurrus had taken a bit of a dive there for a little bit, with Raker being very powerful and it being a bit of a dog to Raker, but it has seemed to have fixed that matchup. Raker's taking a bit of a dive now in the meta. A lot of people are playing Lurrus Control again up to the levels that it was. Now it's like pretty clearly, if you combine Blue, Black, and Esper Lurrus Control is once again very clearly the top deck in the format. And we're going to try and respect it here by playing, the Still Moon Cavaliers, Pro White and Pro Black, on top of our removal spells and whatnot. And I think it's important to note that Clarion Conqueror shuts off artifacts, but it also shuts off Psychic Frogs. This is actually quite good against Psychic Frog, which is nice. Alright, so if you're still here, we're going to go into round 1 now. Throw a like and a subscribe. Help me grow the channel. I really like that. And then any comments you got, right now, ideas for the deck, or as we go along in the video, let me know down below. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Let's go to round 1. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. See if they want to force our Bauble. They do. They want to force our Bauble. Okay. You got it. Pearl, land. Yep. We have to crack a Snapcaster just on the probe. Yep. Sure. I actually didn't need to crack that. We could have just played the Null Rod first without the fetch. Okay. Fair enough. What did they pitch this time? Thunderstorm. Okay. Top. Spin top. Sure thing. So we can either cycle the Troll, or we're almost okay to cast it. So we draw another mana source. Probably want to hold the Troll. Sure. Okay. Actually, I'm not sure why I did that. That seemed unnecessary. They got a swords. Swords would be good for them. They got a top on top. They draw a top. They play a fetch. Oh, they have a stock up. Fair enough. I guess they moved the top down when they drew with it. I missed that. I'm not gonna cycle the troll. I'm just gonna keep it. Void Mirror. And then we'll swing. Yep. It does shut off a couple of our mana sources for the troll, but I think that's okay. We're not going to swords the snappy. We'll swords them if they got something scarier coming up. Yep. Okay. Play a white plume here. That'd actually be good for us. Nope, it's a stock up. So pretty much any card here is good except for the 2 Moxes, Mana Crypt, Lotus. That's fine. Black, white. And we can swing. Can't do anything. We're tapped out with a Void Mirror in place, so I'm just gonna F6 here. I got a Vampiric. That would be good. That could get them the game. Potentially, depending on what's in their deck and stuff. They could get Tinker, but that's shut off by the Void Mirror. They can get Recall, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It doesn't seem amazing. They can Swords Clarion Conqueror, but not sure if that wins them the game, so got a tough choice here. Okay, you just got it. Take these out. Play the misstep on the draw. Bring in a Still Moon. Don't love the Phelia. Another Still Moon. Not 100% sure what they're doing. I think it's the, I think it's Tinker, right? But I'm not sure how useful Dauthi is. Give this a whirl. Sure. We'll keep. Alright, let's see what they got for us. Tundra. You have a Tundra. Actually, we have an interesting play here. So we can go Grief, Pitch. We go Grief, Pitch, Dark Ritual. Play Clarion, Reanimate, Grief. We could just hard cast the Grief. I think we just want to be really aggressive here. They see that we're pitching a Dark Ritual, though, so... They know funny businesses here. They're gonna swords it, I think. Mystical. Short. We need a recall. Yep. What was that? Take paradoxical outcome. The Merchant Scroll. Play Clarion Conqueror. So they got the recall. They play the recall. Yep. And they've got 5 cards. They can play the Tundra. And they can play the Mana Vault. That's fine. Gonna get rid of this just in case they have a way of removing the Conqueror. Hey, we want another flip. It's always nice. Second Conqueror is quite good. Okay. What do they got for us? And we get there. Good match. Alright, here we go again. Is turn 1 Caustic Bronco, turn 2 Ravenloft Adventurer good enough? Probably not, right? I want to keep it. It's a hand that does stuff, but what does that beat? I guess it beats initiative turn 1, so maybe we keep it. It's a very aggressive hand because we can crew the Bronco, and then that will slow us down. No, it won't. Okay, fair enough. Plains. Dark Ritual, Ravenloft Adventurer, Get our swamp. Saddle 3. Done. Alright. Let's see what they got for us. Yeah, Urza Saga, sure. And a Stone Coil Serpent. Forge. Draw. Let's saddle this. They want to block. You get a Void Mirror. They're probably just going to make a Saga token anyway. We get a sword, so we keep the initiative. That might be the play. Void Mirror was another option, but probably would have had to not crew for that to be the case. I think crewing was dumb in retrospect, because that's got 3 power 4 tops that could have just attacked and not crewed and been fine. A bit city. So we'll swords it. That would have turned off the Void Mirror anyway, so that worked out. Alright. Sphere Shops. Tough one. Gonna be a tough matchup here. Oh shoot. Okay. I thought we were going to lag into... No, we still might be. No, we're good. I don't like the Clarions here. Actually, do I like the Clarions? I think I like the Overencumbered here. I do like the Clarions for the Overencumbered combo. I don't like the Dauthis. Maybe one Dauthi. Okay. I don't think this hand really does anything. I think we can mulligan this. This hand doesn't do anything either, though. I think we keep it just on the back of the fact that we have lands, but it's not great. There we go. They go for a heavy mana control strategy or a Null Rod or something, then we're okay. If they go for an aggro plan, then we're in a lot of trouble. That we'll see. Please play a Null Rod. Please play a Null Rod. Null Rod. Null Rod. Soul Ring. That's not a Null Rod. That's bad. Sphere. Sure. They have all the mana in the world. Okay. Okay. That could be a problem. Mm-hmm. So what does this make? A clue token, a food token, a junk token. Scrubland. Swamp. I think we gotta do Null Rod first. And just hope we dodge a wasteland or another sphere for a turn. No wasteland, no sphere. No wasteland, no sphere. Then we can play an unencumbered. That's fine. You got it, Chief. White. White. We can go. So if you're not familiar with this one, it's I'll talk about it in the intro here, but it's enters, they get a clue, a food, and a junk. At the beginning of combat, they have to pay 1 for each artifact they control or they can't attack. They got 9 artifacts. They're playing a 10th artifact. Maybe they haven't read it Overencumbered yet. So we've got things cost 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can't cast the troll. We can cast the Dauthi Voidwalker though. Black, black, white, 2. Probably just cycled the troll for our last swamp there. We can't really do anything else. We're saving our life here. We're trying to, because if they kill our Dauthi Voidwalker, we have to actually be able to cast spells here. So we're not just going to run out the Overencumbered. We will deck out faster than our opponent. They're presumably looking for a Dismember here. Scrawling Crawler, that's a good one too. Oh boy, I think we lose now. Jeez. That's embarrassing. And we lose this race by a turn, unless we find a swords. Okay. Swords. No. I can't believe we're going to lose this one. Need them to do something silly like tap their Ancient Tomb. No, that's another Null Rod. We got one more draw to find the swords. Can we even cast the swords, actually? No, we can't even cast the swords. We're just dead. Please tap that Ancient Tomb. Because we draw on our turn, then their turn, so our Ancient Tomb killed us. Embarrassingly. I can't believe it. Yep, ridiculous. Oh, there's our prismatic ending right on time. Okay, that was very silly. Let's try and not have that happen again. I guess we would have just held. I don't know. That feels like it should have been winnable. We're frozen here. We can't change our deck right now. Alright, we will play and try and get a good hand. Is that a good hand? I guess so. Not an amazing hand. We're gonna pitch the Ravenloft because we can't cast that. Sphere Jet Sapphire. Okay. I think there's a case to be made for waiting a turn on the troll, but we'll see. Yep. Land? That works. Maybe I should have got the Scrubland. Workshop. Golos. Okay. A Dark Ritual would be pretty great here. That cannot get rid of the Urza's Saga. Crawler. Yep, that Saga is causing me problems here. I gotta be right back. Alright, I'm back now. I'm not entirely sure how to try and win this. Because this can get us to planes, I guess. I think we do. Oh no, we can't play the planes. Alright, going to get my food. I had forgotten about that. That complicates this. I guess we just swing with the grief then. No! Oh, I just skipped through my turn. Crap. Lagging. Okay, well, that could cost us. That was not on purpose. And they don't have to pay for it. We lag through our turn there like a chimp. Alright, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Sure. Maybe it just won't matter, but not looking good for the home team. Do we just chump it? What do I chump it with? I use this guy. Forge. Put this one on him. Play here. Prismatic ending. This guy. Done. Chalice on one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what else they got. What is this? Got a huge stone coil serpent? Yeah. That's fine. Trap. This can just put that out of the way, then we win, right? I think. And we got there. Alright, good one. Alright, here we go. We will play. I think this hand's too slow. Well, is it? They got a Lurrus. And turn 2, Dauthi Voidwalker. Turn 3, Ravenloft is not bad. Maybe it's a keep. I'll give it a try. They got a fast hand, we get punished here. But, I mean, it's not terrible. Draw a Clarion Conqueror. Something, it gets better. Emerald, okay. Soul Ring. Now I feel like we're in trouble. Saga, okay. They got more. And they got Lurrus, okay. Yeah, that's problematic. Okay, I guess they're on the Breach version. We're just going to lose to the tokens. Or they're on the Monkey version. We'll see. Yep, they're on the Monkey PO deck. Mana Vault. Sure. Do they want to counter our initiative creature? We have way too many lands in our hand and in play. Let's see what they get here. That's a bad sign for us. Hoping they'd make a token. Alright, we're dead then, I think. Gonna let them do their thing here. I mean, they got another one. I'm just going to assume that they can figure out how to win from here. And that they've got forces and stuff. Alright, so... Oof. I don't like our Overencumbereds. Do like most of the other stuff. I think this is fine. Yeah, weirdly land flooded that game. We don't actually have that many lands in our deck. We're pretty light. This can go turn 1, Dark Ritual, Demonic, Vexing Bauble, turn 2, Conqueror, so I think that's good enough. We got mana, so hopefully if we can draw like anything else, this is fine. We have to lead on a Scrubland if we want to do all that. So Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, and then we're just gonna jam that turn 1, and then they can go. Okay. Hopefully we draw some action. That is not action. They got a swords. Yeah, that's bad for the home team here. Oh, jeez. Can't crack this. It's the only thing keeping us in the game right now. It's just having two. We need one. I think one action spell there. We'd still be in the game, but drawing 2 lands after that is probably just dead here. They can just Flame of Ignore our Bauble at their leisure. Alright, let's see what they got. Might just blow it up in response. Oh, they got double swords. Double swords, fourth. Oh, jeez, we're dead. We have lost the game. Doesn't matter what we take. Yeah, I think that's just this matchup's probably too horrendous if we don't get like a, I don't know. Even with lock pieces, they could still just play a reasonable control deck Ratus. Not sure how you beat this. The Unlucky Monkey PO deck here. And they got the fourth year Lingus in hand, which is brutal. They're just gonna go for it. They're just gonna go for it. Interesting. Oh no, they got a stock up. Okay. It's still bad for us. We can draw a Reanimate. Oh no, we can't draw a Reanimate. We can draw a Grief, another Grief right here. We can take the fourth. Otherwise, we're in trouble. White. Got another swords. Soul Ring. Sure. Flame, fourth Erlingus for 2. Mana Bolt. Fourth Erlingus for much more than 2. Oh boy. Fourth Erlingus for 4. Yeah. Jeez, so dead. They just force it, I mean. Or they don't. Sure. I don't think there's any way to beat this, so I'm just gonna scoop. Yeah, not with that draw. Okay, here we go. We got the play. Turn 1 Vexing Bauble on the play. Turn 3 Clarion Conqueror. I think it's a keep, but it's close. It is not an amazing hand. Let's see if we got a bauble down for starters. We do. Cannot do anything. Okay. Let's see what they got. I do have more lands, so it looks like it could be a controlling version, which is problematic for us. Spell bomb, sure. I do think we still cycle it because we want to hit our land drops. This does look like the control version. No, that's a good one. We're going to get the initiative here. Swords? Swords. Okay. White frog, sure. Swords would be good. I think we want to go bottom, top. They're gonna crack in response. It's fine. Alright. They got a removal spell probably then. I think that's what that means. Yep. That's fine. You got his swords. I think we want the stash. Oh, we don't want the stash. The Conqueror turns it off. We should have just goaded. That was silly. That was dumb. But I guess if it gets removed, it can do something. So we get this. We go in the catacombs. And we can swing for 3. They can't block it. Alright. I think, yeah, we got that one. Feels a little lucky, but we got there. I want the still moons. I want the misstep. I want the endings. I don't love the Voidmere on the draw. I don't love the Null Rods. Which means I probably don't love the Overencumbered. Bring the Voidmere back in, I guess. Try this. Just waiting for our opponent here. Um, I think it's a keep. I don't love it though. We're pretty soft at Wasteland, aren't we? We don't have anything turn 1. Maybe it is a mulligan. What do we do? Turn 1 Ancient Tomb past Cycle Troll, Reanimate it? I mean, yeah. Kinda want to mulligan this one. Oh, I'm gonna keep it. Could use a little help by a reasonable turn 1 play here. Frog. Time walk, okay. We can't play that. Wrong color, Moxen. I probably should have played out the Swan because we get dazed now. Works. No, it works. Interesting. What do they have? What? Oh, they got Lurrus. You play Lurrus. Yes. Let's start by looking at their hand here. Okay. All right. Lorien. Okay, well, we're dead then. We tried. The Lurrus deck can punish you pretty badly if they get to the mid game. Alright. Yeah, we lost. I get it. I get it. Mm-hmm. 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 Alright. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Captain Force of Negation. Interesting. We're just dead on board then? Because they swing, we're down to 1, and they just attack and we lose. Okay. Oh boy. Try this again. I think this is okay. Just run it back. Um, It's a weird hand. I think we go turn 1 Vexing Bauble and try and spike a land. Spike a land, we can play an initiative creature. So I think that's Dark Ritual. Pierce, okay. You got it. Ugh. Alright, now we're in trouble. Not having the grief turn 1 there definitely hurt us. Okay. Fair enough. Alright. Just, okay. You got it. Alright, that's okay. Why are we playing these non-Lurrus decks? Okay. Fair enough. Alright, here we go again. Boy. Interesting. I think we grief first. See what we're working with here. Oh boy. Dress down. Force of Will. Demonic Tutor. I think we have to take the Force of Will. They can dress down here. Um, draw land, we can get the Ravenloft down next turn. If they don't have another land, we can Dark Rit Demonic Reanimate it. Alright. Guess we're against Blue-Black Tinker. Esper Tinker, they got white there. I don't think we need the Overencumbereds. I do want the Mental Misstep. I guess a Prismatic Ending? I don't think these are relevant. They would have been relevant against the Lurrus control deck. Okay. See what they do here. Sure. Oh crap. Oh, they have Lurrus? I completely missed that. What if you go Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor for Grief, Grief, Reanimate, Grief. Let's see if this resolves first. They're thinking hard here. They got something. I think I'm going to lead with Dauthi, actually. Okay. Let's see what they got there. Oh, they got the Time Vault? No. We have to keep our Force of Will up then. It's a little annoying. What do we want? Do we want Clarion Conqueror? Maybe just another Voidwalker? Maybe it's just grief. I think we just pass. I can untap that. Okay. Yep. Mana source would be nice. Another grief. We don't really want that. Maybe I should have griefed earlier. Maybe I should have grief pitching I think I should have grief pitching reanimate just to clear it. Maybe. Interesting. Alright, so we're gonna grief, pitching, reanimate. Maybe it should have just been grief. Three black. Vampiric. Okay. Oh no, we should have countered the vampiric. That was dumb. Chain of vapor. Okay. We could bounce the Lurrus with chain, reanimate grief to take it, and then play a Null Rod. That worked out. Okay, I think let's see what they got. Oh, we got there. Alright, so pretty good league. Solid 3-2 there, positive finish, happy with this. I'll probably reorder this slightly because round 1 here we did get demolished pretty bad by the Unlucky Monkey style, 4-color PO control deck with Lurrus. He's been playing this for a while now, and he won, as of the time of recording this, he has recently won 3 challenges in a row in Magic Online with his deck. It's extremely well positioned right now. It's very strong. It's very well tuned. And honestly, it might even just be too good between Lurrus and Stock Up and some of the other cards like Hunter Trap Trainer in that deck. It just might be too good. We will have to see next, coming months here if that continues to be the case. But I'll probably put that one either round 2 or round 3. But this is the 4-color Lurrus PO deck, Unlucky Monkey style. But then we rallied, and we did win 3 matches here. So we beat the Esper PO deck here. And we beat Sphere Shops with Scrolling Crawler, which is pretty cool. I think Sphere Shops now play Scrolling Crawler pretty often. They did get us. This is a wild one. If you watch was it game 1 or game 2? Maybe it's game 2 of this series. I don't remember. We got the Null Rod plus Overencumbered lock down. We're beating down with a Dauthi Voidwalker. I thought we had that game locked up because we had the combo on. They couldn't attack because they have artifacts in play. They can't attack through the Overencumbered. Overencumbered is this one here. If you missed the intro here, they can't attack unless they pay 1 for their artifacts. With Null Rod in play, they can't use that mana, and they just have all these artifacts they can't pay for, so it's a lock. And they were attacking with Dauthi Voidwalker through their blockers. But they found a Scrolling Crawler. And then we ended up both being at 1, and they won the battle, and we died 1 game there, so that was crazy. So that was a good game. We did manage to win the match there. We also beat the Lurrus Vault Key deck here, which was good. And we lost a set here that we fought in for against Esper Lurrus control. Game 3, I feel like I messed. I feel like either I could have played better or mulligan better that one. We got game 1 there and then just lost the next two. I'm a little disappointed with that one. I feel like I probably could have done something in that matchup, but it's okay. Overall, still, nice 3-2, solid finish. Happy with the deck. The Overencumbereds were not good. I think the way I would go is cut the Overencumbered here, cut the 2 Overencumbereds here. Play one more Voidmere. Maybe keep one Overencumbered as a Demonic Tutor target in the 75. Like, it does do strong things here. We didn't play against Bizarre, but it does come up there. Maybe it is keep one. Obviously I play variety content on this channel, and I play, my 2 leagues a week, sometimes only 1 league a week. I don't have time to test all this stuff myself. But I think the card's interesting. I know Chess Knight plays this, and I've done well with it in the past. Like, it is a cool card. I see the vision. It is very good with both of these cards. I think maybe I would just cut one Overencumbered here for the Voidmere. leave the leave the Overencumbered here and one in the sideboard. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with the other cards in the deck. Everything did stuff that I'm quite happy with. I mean, maybe cut the second Overencumbered for another swords. I mean, you could do that. Like, you could just cut the Overencumbered for swords, I guess. They're not necessary, but it is kind of a hard lock against some of the decks that go wide. Like, swords is not great against Raker. It's not great against Dredge. This card's much better in those matchups. So maybe it's just meta dependent, but like against Lurrus Control, which we played against, swords is obviously much better. So I think going down to 2 Overencumbered. So I think I would do this. Keep one in the sideboard, one in the main as a Demonic Tutor target. Cut the second one for either a Voidmere or a swords. Maybe cut one Null Rod for a second Voidmere and cut one Overencumbered for a sword. Something like that. There's definitely ways to play around this. You can also put Orcish Bowmaster in this deck, I think. I think Orcish Bowmaster is definitely like a solid option. I don't really love Orcish Bowmaster outside of Lurrus decks, but I think the whole idea of this deck is to play kind of a lower curve initiative deck with, because of the Clarion Conqueror, and I think Orcish Bowmaster obviously is a very good 2-drop. Lurrus plays the best 2-drops, and Orcish Bowmaster makes the cut, so I don't think it's crazy to play those in here. Yeah, those are my thoughts. If you got any ideas on how to try and improve this, or you want to give Black-White Initiative a whirl, or like I talked about in the beginning of the video, if you want to try Clarion Conqueror with green, with Elvish Spirit Guide and Collector Oof, or with a Simian Spirit Guide kind of red version, either red-white or green-white Clarion Conqueror Initiative, let me know. I'd be curious to see some lists for those sort of decks. You might see me on this channel playing green-white with Oof at some point if nobody else gives it a whirl. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, try and feed the algorithm there and grow the channel a little bit. I'll appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.